Yo, what's good? Just finished Texas Rangers game Friday night here. Well, technically it's after midnight. Saturday morning, it is officially game day for college. My college official picks are already out for the week. They're on the previous live stream. We're going live again with the official picks. I just like doing this live. It's easier. It's less editing. The videos upload directly to YouTube for me, and I can just kind of give you guys a little bit more information in real time on a live stream. It also gives you guys an opportunity to chime in real time with questions, comments, whatever. So, with that being said, slap a like on the live stream for me. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. And let's kick this off. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 official picks for NFL. 7 of them. It is going to be a winning week. We are overdue. I'm shooting for 5-2 on these. I'm shooting for 5-2, maybe 6-1 if we got a little bit of luck, but I'm looking for 5-2. Let me pull up the Pick'It app so we can double check our betting percentages, which is extremely important. Also, make sure you're following me on TikTok. Been killing it on TikTok and posting a lot of critical information. Let me give you guys a quick example. Yo, what up? What up? What up? So, this is the kind of stuff that's going on TikTok, right?
Alrighty, guys, what's good? Monday Night Football tonight. Now, be careful, because this is the same setup. This is identical to the Bills. What do we have? 95, almost 96% of the money on the money line. See, this is important. On the money line on San Francisco. So what does this mean? This means, are the bettors worried about giving away value when there's almost a touchdown spread on the money line? No, but think of how many parlays are coming down to their last leg. Think about that. How many parlays out there? All those big parlays with big odds. Maybe they're coming down to their last leg, and those bettors have San Francisco on the money line. Just like all the suckers went down the list and just simply tapped Bills money line for a little extra value. It's not value. I would stay away from this. I have no play tonight. I have no idea. This just doesn't look good. Probably Vikings are pass.
So, been doing a lot of good stuff over there on TikTok. We hit our same game parlay this week on Thursday Night Football in the Bills game. Easy cash there. So, really turning around this NFL thing. And really, personally, I've been smoking the NFL. Absolutely smoking. Winning Sundays 3 of the last 4 weeks. It's just the official plays here on YouTube have just kind of been treading water. You guys can see on the whiteboard behind me, through 7 full weeks of NFL, we sit at, 45%? So, we're due for a good week here. Let's kick this thing off. And you know what? I'm going to go through every game just to at least give you an opinion on every game, even the non-official plays. And there's one game in particular I feel that's very... Okay, so another thing you guys have to realize, there's going to be one game. There's going to be one game on Sunday and tomorrow on Saturday, well, technically today. There's always one game to fuck up everyone's parlay. Why don't you guys understand this by now? And maybe you watching right now, maybe you do understand that. But for people that are like, oh my God, it's always the last leg of my parlay, there's going to be that one game. This week, I think I know who the big, unexpected, totally ridiculous, rigged upset, I think I know who it is, guys. Let's start off with Philly and Washington. On my official pick sheet, I have Philly, and then I actually have Philly crossed off. So I wanted to lay the 7 points with Philadelphia. And I'm tempted to still do it. I'm very close. I just don't think it's going to quite get there for me. Oh, man, it's just tough. Washington plays them tough. Philly's off a big win. It's a road game. Washington's looked bad. The whole world's on Philly. Let's look at the percentage. How much money is actually on the Eagles? If it's not too bad, maybe I'll reconsider, but I really don't want to do it. Yeah, it's bad. 93% of the money on the money line, actually make that 94, and 61.3% of the bets against the spread are on Philly. So, I just can't go there. Philly was very close this week. I'm just not quite going to be able to go there. You could maybe consider teasing this game down, find another game to pair Philadelphia with. But at the end of the day, it's a road game. It's a road game. I don't know. Road divisional game. I'm not interested in this one. I'm going to pass. Next game down, Jags at Pittsburgh. Here comes our first official play. Give me Pittsburgh plus the 1.5 at home. I believe we have some reverse line movement, which means a lot of people are on the Jags, and yet the line has dropped down to 1.5. Kind of interesting. Let's check out the percentages. Steelers, if I can spell. Man, I can't wait to wake up in the morning and have college football. Are you guys just psyched? I cannot wait. Yeah, so I was a little bit wrong on this. A lot of the money's on the Jags in terms of the money line, so I guess a lot of people are taking the 1.5 out of the equation. A lot of people like Jacksonville to win the game, 68.5. So almost 69% of bettors on the money line are on the Jags here. Against the spread, it's about even. 51.4% on Pittsburgh. So against the spread, it's about even, but I think a lot of people are taking Jacksonville on the money line. I'm going to take Pitt. I'm going to take the 1.5. You never know when it's a 1-point game, especially with these two teams, 21-20, 24-23. I'm going to take the 1.5 at home with the Pittsburgh Steelers. They've lost too many home games. How many home games have they lost? Let's look it up. And a lot of people will get on here and they'll say, oh, well, that's a trend. Pittsburgh's not good at home this year. The Jags have continued to win. I'm not a fan of the Jags. All right, so they beat the Ravens their last home game. I forgot about that one, but they got outgained significantly in that. Ravens are a good team, though. They beat the Browns, lost to San Fran. Okay, so that's what I meant. The Ravens and the Browns both, I thought, were very fortunate wins for Pittsburgh. Very fortunate. This, I think, will be more of a legitimate win here. And give me Pitt at home. I don't love that play. That's probably my least favorite of the whole list, but I'm going to take it based on the line movement. I'm on the Saints here. Saints money line. The spread is 1 point. No need to take the 1 point. Money line, minus 118. The whole world's on the Colts. Guys. At the end of the day, Minshew makes a lot of mistakes. He extends some plays. He makes some good plays here and there. Saints defense is going to be a big problem, and I think the Saints finally figure out how to get their offense in gear. I think they finally get on the same page for a week against a Colts defense that, although they are better at home, I don't know. They poured a lot of energy into that Browns game just to come up short. If you look at the money line, 60% of the money's on Indy. I like the Saints here. I like the Saints minus 118 on the money line. Next game down, going back to Green Bay. Lost on them last week. Couldn't quite get the job done against Denver. Now they're at home. You got the Vikings. The whole world's going to love the Vikings. Well, the Vikings just beat San Fran. What are you talking about? Green Bay sucks. What are you talking about? Green Bay's a lot healthier. It's a short week for the Vikings. Big rivalry. It's in Lambeau. Place is going to be going crazy. Low total, 41.5. I think Green Bay gets their running game going in this game. At the end of the day, still no Justin Jefferson for the Vikes. They're going to be all over Hawkinson. He's not going to be as effective. Kirk Cousins is not going to play like that 2 games in a row. I expect some serious regression from Kirk Cousins in this game. Give me the Packers at home. I am going to take the 1.5, though. We are going to take the 1.5. You never know when you lose by 1. However, I personally, not for the channel, I personally am on Green Bay to win the game outright. Money line at minus 104. That decision's ultimately up to you, but in terms of the record here on the channel, we're going to take the 1.5. And I'm curious what the percentages are on that game as well. You think Gardner Minshew hits over 220 passing yards, but the Saints win in the end? I don't think so. I think the Colts are going to really want to get Jonathan Taylor going in this game. Saints defense, especially passing defense, it's pretty stout. They can get some pressure on the quarterback. I think Minshew is not good down the field. He's not good for big plays. Some dinking and dunking, I think Jonathan Taylor is going to get a lot of touches. I think the Saints defense overall is going to dominate. I'd be surprised if Minshew gets, I think he gets right around the 200 mark, maybe just short, maybe in the upper 100s. Saints defense going to show up big this week. They're going to get a win. Let's look at the Packers. Vikings, Packers. What's the betting percentages? Yeah, I mean, 78.5% of the bets on the money line are on the Vikings. So close to 80% of moneyline bettors are taking the Vikings in this spot. I think Green Bay is sitting nice to get a victory. News today, or maybe it was yesterday, Brock Purdy is not going to be playing. He's in concussion protocol. Bengals, about as healthy as they've been this year, catching 4.5. It's still a road game. This is going to be no walk in the park. Do the 49ers still win this game? Sam Darnold, do they do enough to get the win? Defense should bounce back this week. I don't know. I'm going to take the 4.5. I think the game's going to be close regardless. Low total sitting at 43.5. I'm going to take 4.5 points with the healthier Joe Burrow and the Bengals that are, I think, coming off a bye. So we're going to take Cincy plus the 4.5. We'll check the percentage just to double check on that. It only takes a second here. Public dogs sometimes are not something you want to go forward with. So I can at least do you guys some due diligence here and let you know the betting percentages. Cincinnati at 49ers. A lot of money on Cincy against the spread. But I think that recent downpour of money onto the Bengals was only because of the news with the concussion protocol and Brock Purdy. I think it's a warranted inflow of money here. 70.4% of the money against the spread is on the Bengals. Typically, you don't want to take a road dog in the NFL, especially a public road dog is what I'm saying. Public road dog, usually not a good spot. In this particular instance, a healthier Joe Burrow, a hungry Cincinnati team that's still behind the 8 ball in the win column and really wants to, make the playoff picture look a little bit more inviting to them. I think Cincy at least puts in a good effort here. Maybe they don't win the game, but they cover the number. I'm taking the points with Cincy at 4.5. I wanted to bet the Ravens minus 9.5. I gave out the Ravens last week. At the end of the day, it's still a road game in the NFL. 9.5 is a huge number. Maybe they let down their energy a little bit here and sleepwalk to a 7-point win, and the Cardinals cover by the skin of their teeth. I don't know. I don't love laying 9.5 on the road with any team in the NFL in any spot. It's just not something I typically do. So I'm going to pass on the Ravens game. Maybe you have a live betting opportunity. Maybe if the Ravens start slow and you can get a live bet at a reasonable number, consider hopping on the Ravens live, but I can't quite do 9.5. Now, here's where we get to the tricky game. It's up to 5 on DraftKings. You're saying the Bengals game, Bengals, you can get a 5? Sure, 5, 4.5 doesn't make a difference to me. I can't remember more than, I really can't remember. It's very, 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 very rare a margin in the NFL falls on the number of 5. 4, big number. Big number. 4 is a big one. 5, 4.5, 5, doesn't scare me. I'll take the points. Chiefs, Broncos, I think this is the upset of the week. I think it has a chance to be. I mean, God, the money coming in on the Chiefs is going to be scary. Let's see what it is. This is the game where everyone's like, oh my God, the Chiefs are an amazing teaser. They're favored 7.5. Denver's been horrible. The Chiefs look bulletproof. We'll tease them down, and they basically only have to win the game. We need them by less than a field goal. That's a rock-solid teaser leg. It's a road divisional game. Denver beat the Packers last week. They got a little momentum. How many games in a row can the Chiefs really win? These games are typically pretty tight. You never know what happens at the end. Do you see the bar on top? The one that almost covers the entire screen? Kansas City, 98.2% of the money on the money line. So that's like that's parlay bettors, right? That's people that are like, I'll take the Lions this week. I'm going to take the 49ers at home. I like the Saints. And I'll just throw in the Chiefs on the money line so my payout's a little bit bigger. And then the Chiefs lose outright. That's what happened with the Bills last week. I think this is the exact same scenario. The percentages of money look identical. Against the spread, still close to 80% on Kansas City. 98.2% on the money line. I am going to take the 7.5 points with I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm taking Denver over the Chiefs. I'm taking the 7.5 points with Denver at home. We got 2 picks left. Guys, don't bet the Chiefs. Just don't do it. If you really have to do it, if you really truly believe that the Chiefs is the right move, go smaller than you were going to go. I'm telling you, if there's one game that people are going to be screaming the NFL's rigged from this week, it's going to be this one. If Denver wins that game, man, people are going to be screaming and hollering. Bears at the Chargers. I'm going to lay the 8.5, almost 10 full points with the home team here. It's Sunday Night Football. The Bears are still on a backup. The backup played amazing, but that's typical. You give a backup, their opportunity. They come out. No pressure, no expectation. They play well. Okay, well, now the Chargers, they got tape on this guy. And typically, when quarterbacks make an appearance to the NFL, the first time you have to play the guy and you just kind of throw him in and everything's just kind of loose and relaxed and you're just kind of, everyone expects you to lose. Last week made sense. This week doesn't make sense. Chargers off a tough, not really a too impressive loss off of the Chiefs game. Now they're at home, Sunday Night Football. They need a win. Much better team. The Bears are the Bears. Give me the Chargers, despite their coaching situation. I'm going to lay 8.5 with the Chargers. I think it's going to be kind of a boring Sunday Night Football. I think the game's going to be ugly. Let's check the betting percentages. Hopefully it's not too crazy on the Chargers. Hopefully some people are falling for that Bears quarterback. And he's good. He's good, guys. He's not bad. I think he's a decent player. This is just a bad spot. Yeah, I mean, the money's heavy on the Chargers. Not quite as bad as the Chiefs, though. And the Chiefs are on the road. The Chargers are at home. The Chargers are Sunday Night Football. I like the way I split those two games, personally. Coming down to the last game, we got Monday Night Football. We got Detroit Lions laying 7.5 at home. I'm going to lay it. I'm absolutely going to lay it. Good bounce back spot. Embarrassed by the Ravens. The Raiders just got absolutely smoked by the Bears. Okay. Now you have the Lions at home. Goff is significantly better at home. Their defense played so unbelievably bad against the Ravens. They're going to step up. Still no Garoppolo for the Raiders. The Raiders are just kind of a pieced together mess. McDaniels is not a good coach. Coaching advantage, Lions. Home field advantage, Lions. Monday Night Football advantage, Lions. Offensive advantage, Lions. I don't think the Raiders can keep pace. Lions are going to put 34, 37 on the board. So you got to get 30? You got to get 27 or 30 out of the Raiders to keep this within the number? On the road in Detroit off a bad game? No, they're not going to keep pace. They're just not going to keep pace, guys. It's just not going to happen. I'm going to lay the points with Detroit at home. Monday Night Football, bounce back spot for the Lions. Let's check the percentage on that one. I would imagine it's heavy on the Lions. How bad is it? I don't care anyway. Raiders, Lions. Yeah, it's heavy. It's heavy, guys. It's really heavy. 97% of money against the spread is on the Lions. But it's a Monday night game, and I think if Denver spoils everyone on Sunday, then the NFL won't have to pull any strings come Monday. Or if Denver gets a job done and ruins everyone's parlays and stuff on Sunday, then I don't think there'll be anything fishy going on Monday, and you might get a square play to hit a public basic run-of-the-mill team. I will say this, in terms of teaser legs, I think you could tease I think you could tease the Lions. Let me say this. If your bets don't go good, and you got some money left in the account, and you're like, man, I really don't want to lose. I really don't want to finish out the weekend on a losing note. I think you could go Sunday night, Monday combo to save the bankroll. Chargers, Lions, teaser. It could be that easy. Get both teams under a field goal. Both teams are home teams. Both teams are big favorites. Both teams are prime time. Both teams are in bounce back spots. Chargers, Lions, teaser. Think about it. That's all I got, guys. Make sure you hit the like button before you exit out. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. TikTok, check it out. Dan's Rants. And have a good weekend.